I liked to keep it handy. An icy November storm could knock out the electricity all over town. Besides, it made me smile. Ian was a techie, a gadget guy, and this was his idea of a perfect gift. Some men never thought past flowers. I decided to see if we had a copy of Hitchcock's Rebecca checked in. I had the DVD of Christie's Halloween Party at home, but decided to save that until the following weekend. The sky over the manor as I arrived had put me in a gothic state of mind. As I walked down the hall toward the reading room, I noticed a light on in the director's office. Helen Montague, our director, had been off today after working the weekend, so I decided to take a look. Very little in the manor was kept locked, and with a small staff in the evenings, it was easy for people to end up in places they shouldn't be. I was surprised it didn't happen more often. I poked my head into the office and immediately regretted it. Anita Hunzeker, who chaired the library board of trustees, was looking for something in a portable file box that she'd placed on a chair. Thankfully, she had her back to me. My relief was short-lived. As I began to ease back out the door, she spotted my reflection in the window and turned. "Oh, Greer, it's you. You're not closing tonight, are you?" she asked, eyeing my jeans and sweater with disapproval. Anita was wearing her usual uniform of dressy slacks, blazer, silk blouse, and colorful scarf. If she owned anything denim, I had yet to see it. "No, I was here earlier. I came back for something I forgot," I said. "I saw the light and thought I'd check and see who was in here. I know Helen is off." "Yes," she said, "I've been using her office. Board business and then the friends meeting. I wanted to make sure they had things in hand. Felicity had to step in rather late in the process. And now I've misplaced my new glasses. I'm supposed to use them for driving at night. Of course, I can manage without them, but I'd rather not." "Would you like some help?" I asked. It was the last thing I wanted to do. Anita Hunzeker was regularly referred to as Attila the Hunzeker by the library staff, the volunteers, and most of the rest of the residents of Raven Hill. She was ruthlessly efficient, had boundless energy, and was completely lacking in sensitivity. Though she had been involved in hiring me, I had fallen out of favor while investigating a murder on the manor grounds the previous spring. My stock had gone up when I solved it, leaving the library with no legal liability, but Anita still felt I had a tendency to stick my nose into things. This was true, so in general, I tried to avoid her. "Well, if you wouldn't mind checking to see if they're on the floor somewhere. Richard dropped off some files for me and knocked over my bag. Men are so careless. I was sure he picked everything up, but he might have missed them. They're not in here. Let me check my handbag again." I heaved a mental sigh and knelt down. Helen had a little table and some chairs on one side of her office for smaller meetings. This was where Anita had been working. I looked around, feeling along the shadowed area by the baseboards. I heard Anita yawn. Odd, she was usually the Energizer bunny. "Long day?" I said, as I backed up and then moved toward the radiator. It was too dark to see underneath it. "An early appointment and several meetings. The Historical Society cannot wrap their minds around the need for a better facility. The proposed library would be ideal, but they're very territorial. Combining our archives and their collection makes perfect sense. Why let everything molder away in the dark when you can house it all in a bright, new research center? Better climate control would certainly help. Some of those documents are fragile," I said, giving myself points for diplomacy. I liked working in the manor and would be happy to see the library stay there. Anita was determined that her legacy to the town she grew up in would be a new, state-of-the-art library and archive. She'd already picked out the location. She had a point about accessibility, air quality, and light, but she ignored tradition and history. The village was pretty evenly split on new versus old, and the preliminary discussions had been going on for nearly a year. I didn't see it getting any better. Add to that the terms of the Ravenscroft Trust and the deeding of the manor to the village for use as a library, and the whole thing got even messier. But Anita was determined. "Exactly, Greer," Anita went on as I completed my search beneath the radiator. She was unusually chatty this evening, possibly happy to have an audience who seemed to agree with her. I moved to do one last check.